Hello and welcome to the Save the Frogs grants discussion slash Save the Frogs Day wrap up, we'll say. I am Save the Frog founder Dr. Kerry Kriger. It is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. And this is a gathering of Save the Frogs grantees, specifically Save the Frogs 2026 Save the Frogs Day grantees, all Save the Frogs Day organizers who applied for, and received funding from Save the Frogs to put on Save the Frogs Day events April 28th and in that general time frame. So I wanted to get everyone here to find out what happened, how everyone's programs went, what we all can learn from them, what you learned from your event, what you have planned for 2027, the 19th annual Save the Frogs Day, set for April 28th, 2027. I'm already planning for it. It's actually going to be the primary thing that I work on all year to make the 19th annual Save the Frogs Day the biggest and the best communicated ever. Let's see. We had a Save the Frogs Day photo contest. We had a Save the Frogs Day flyer contest. If you go check out those pages, you can see a video where I discuss the winners and why they won. And I think everybody here would gain a lot from watching the video. Hey, it's over an hour long. Put it at 1.5x speed if you want, but listen to it because the key points are super important for anyone who wants to be an effective environmental communicator. And I think that's pretty much every environmental conservationist. There are good ways, bad ways, mediocre ways, effective ways, ineffective ways to communicate. And I think you'll get a lot out of watching that video. Hey, maybe I'll put in the link, or if someone out there has the link to it, savethefrogs.com/day dash flyer or savethefrogs.com/day dash photo. That'll get you to the video. Hey, with that as an introduction, welcome everyone. Let's see who's out here. Anyone who wants to turn on, I'll give priority to people who want to turn on their video and their audio. Next up, if you just want to turn on your audio. And finally, if you just want to chat in something about you, where you are, hey, maybe even what you did. But if you get up here, hey, Margot always likes to talk, and she's got her video on. And she's probably been around here, well, she's been around here on planet Earth probably longer than any of us. And she's also probably been with Save the Frogs for longer than anyone other than me who's on this call. So, hey, Margot, how's it going? I'm going to spotlight you first. Let's add you to the spotlight. How's it going, Margot?
It's great. We had a terrific Save the Frogs Day. Peyton's on the call also. And the weather was absolutely gorgeous. It went off as planned. We had a ribbon cutting for the three big vernal ponds that we put in the Arboretum last year, and people wandered around and oohed and awed and appreciated it, talked to each other. And the first part was about introducing our home-built vernal ponds kits, and so we've solicited the names of about 21 people who would like to do that. Um, and so we're going to pick seven of those people who are properly vetted.
Vetted
And
to receive a kit that will help them to build a wetland on their property.
yes, and also we want them, hopefully it will have some educational value for kids in their neighborhood or in their scout troops or classes, and also that they will be using iNaturalist and NASA data to record the 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 effects and the results of the vernal pond. We also have hooked up with Nazareth College students who are had a nice poster at our Save the Frogs event, and they've been monitoring the results of last year's vernal ponds, which did get tadpoles and frogs within 10 days of finishing the building, which
So
was
let's get some background here. Last year, you took dry land or wet land that was not filled with water, and you turned it into a wetland, a pond, and it filled
three,
with water.
three,
Okay,
three.
so you created three wetlands, and now they have water and they have frogs, and you have students from the local college, Nazareth College, who are doing some kind of scientific monitoring and projects there, and then you held your event there this year. Does that all sound right?
Yeah, the second half of the event was there this year with a ribbon cutting. The first half was at a frog house itself.
What?
Uh,
Why don't you tell everyone out there briefly what is a frog house?
a frog house is a little converted building, 10 by 10, which houses all the frogabilia that people sent me after I met Kerry and became a crazy woman, the frog lady. And we've gradually increased our activities from having little events such as art days and things like that to a great big community effort. So for Save the Frogs Day next year, what I'm thinking about is installing some of these vernal home-built vernal ponds in public areas, such as along the brown fields of the Genesee River that are being renovated.
Public
But
areas meaning you would need public
yeah,
governmental approval,
yes,
okay, which you
yes,
have done before. You've dealt with
yes.
the government. You've partnered with the government.
Some governments in some
Okay, good.
ways.
All right.
Yeah.
And why don't you clarify? A frog house is not simply a 10 by 10 foot house. It
No, our
is
mission.
also a public charity now.
Yes, it is. And thanks to Kerry, who advised me. He didn't tell me what to do, but he told me the pros and cons
It's
and
true.
how to go about getting a 501(c)(3. And I decided to go for it. It
Are you satisfied with your decision of having done that and
oh,
started the five?
absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
It
Because
was
that
a very
actually just came up a couple days ago at the Save the Frogs board meeting with one of my goals this year is to get more international chapters going. And it's probably, I said to everyone, hey, it's probably the same thing everywhere in the world. You go, you can start a nonprofit organization by just saying we're doing stuff and you don't have to register with anyone. Or you could start your own registered with the government organization and get nonprofit status, or you could work under a larger organization, an umbrella organization, and just be kind of part of their thing. So that's good because we also have someone else out here. Muzna is either has already or is working on starting a nonprofit. Maybe she'll come up here shortly. But anything else to say, Margot? Any you talked about plans for getting these vernal pond kits out to people to assist them in their wetland projects. Have you thought of 2027 Save the Frogs Day? Will you be back for another round?
if I don't die or the organization doesn't die and me
You're
leave.
looking in good shape, so I think you'll be here.
Well, I physically will be here. Frog House is struggling, as is every nonprofit at this time in our world. But I should say our mission is advocacy, collaboration, and education. So we've done a lot of advocacy using a lot of the Save the Frogs materials, thanks to Kerry's industrious nature. And and so Peyton, who is on this call, has done more listening to all of his his lengthy instructions, which I do have a question before I sign off. We've made a website with lots of pictures. We've made a PDF with fewer pictures, which follows the format of your report submission. Do
Yeah.
you also want the report submission on that website?
Well, first of all, you made a website long ago. You added a web page
Yeah,
with
yes.
your Save the Frogs Day
Yeah, thank you.
info, and I have to congratulate you on that because I'll say surprisingly, even though websites are always have been and probably always will be one of the most important things that any nonprofit or business could have, should have, there's actually, I may even see less and less website usage as opposed to the other people's websites, the billionaires' websites, meaning
Mhm.
the people who own the social media platforms, is where most Save the Frogs Day organizers still just put their stuff, and that's kind of the end of it. So I like that you created a web page with your about your Save the Frogs Day event, and maybe you can grab the URL at some point and paste it into the chat so people can find it easily. Otherwise, everyone out there, afroghouse.org, you can go there, and I'm sure there's a blog button or an easy way to find recent articles on the site. So go check that out. But ideally, also, we should always have a ideally easy to remember URLs that we don't even have to go search for. Anyway, what was your question? I probably jumped in the middle of it.
Oh, just whether you also want us to,
Oh, final reports.
yes,
Yeah.
on your tricky little website.
Okay. All right. Peyton has the title, but is that link? Oh, it is linked. Indeed. Oh, a hyperlinked. I didn't even know you could do that. All right. Hey, a froghouse.org/save the frogs day 2026 with dashes in there. All right. That to me is a good, easy to remember. SEO optimized, search engine optimized URL. Good. Okay, let's see. Let me I'll unspotlight you and talk about reports. Let's talk about reports because I have been thinking about reports but not updating the page on them, which means I'm going to get reports in a form that I'm probably not fully happy with, but it's my fault for not updating the site or informing you all of what I really want. So she mentioned a PDF. How can you submit a report? Or what is a report anyway? How can you communicate? Let's just start with the broader question. How can one communicate to the public what they did on Save the Frogs Day? Why would you even do that? To go back a step, because you want to inspire future action. You want to get the most impact out of the event that you held, which is not only for the people who attended the event, but everyone who can hear about your event and get educated about how to hold an event and inspired to hold an event, or even just to recognize that there are people out there who do more than simply posting on the internet, which is what most people do on a we'll call it a wildlife day. Wildlife days have become very popular on social media, but most of what people see is just, hey, everyone, it's so and so day. In this case, Save the Frogs Day, ideally written and spelled correctly and using the even close to the correct name, which is not always the case. Anyway, most people are just posting, but we are actually out there, as Save the Frogs Day always has been from the very beginning in 2009, was a day to get out there, out of our house, out of our office. Not that we cannot do a lot from those places, but why not take these days that are important to us and actually go out to the local community and do something? And that's what we all did, and that separates us from the vast majority of frog enthusiasts on the planet. We are the elite frog savers, we'll say, or let's say the dedicated ones, proactive and active. So, anyway, let's get the most out of our event, inspire other people to hold events. One way to do that is to post where? Social media, yes. Your own website, your personal website, maybe your organization's website. Ideally, if you don't have an organization website but you're part of an organization, you should probably start or restart the conversation with the leaders of your organization on how you will get a website, because it is important. And there's also submitting your report to Save the Frogs. If you were funded, then you agreed to submit a report. That helps us to communicate the value to donors and all the potential volunteers and frog savers of holding Save the Frogs Day events, and that their donations, which we convert into Save the Frogs grant dispersals that arrived in your organization's bank accounts and got used to hold events, that is a worthwhile use of money and that we're getting stuff done. So I like getting the reports from you. It also helps me judge how well you conducted your Save the Frogs grant project. So anyway, what should it contain? I like for the grantee to create a PDF because it's kind of like a immutable, unchangeable document that you create. That's 100% your creation. So it's good. It's good experience, I'll say, for you to create the report, but it's also just your 100% way to relay what you did. Because when you send me text about it and when you send me photos, which I do want, your photos may be embedded in your PDF, but I don't just want them there because I can't extract them easily from your PDF. I want the photos and I want the text. I could grab the text out of your PDF, fine. But PDF, one thing, just here's the PDF, okay? Good. But also a text summary of what you did. I don't want all your photos. That's the other thing. You send me 300 photos, you've just given me a task. Now Kerry gets to decide which of these, some of them very repetitive or not even that good photos, to get rid of. I don't want that. I just find your best photos. What do I mean by your best? For me, it's not even, I mean, they will be the best, but how many? Is that 3 of them? Is that 30 of them? It's however many are awesome photos that are worthy of being on a website. Every time I upload something onto the website, I assume it's going to be there forever. As long as that website's there, that photo is going to be there. I only want good photos on my website. I don't want any boring or bad or irrelevant photos on there. So you go through all your photos. Your photos, everyone's photos. As an event organizer, I'm organizing Save the Frogs Day, so I'm trying to get everything from everywhere. You're trying to get everything from your event. That means if people were posting on Facebook, as a lot of people were, and a lot of you are from, or almost everyone here is, or most people on right now are from South Asia. I've noticed that people from South Asia use Facebook more than any other platform, whereas probably people from Latin America use Instagram a lot more than Facebook. So anyway, on Facebook, I see a lot of posts from people who were not the organizer or the grant recipient, and that's awesome. You should be aware of their posts, and when someone posts something good and they put their photos up, you should be downloading those photos or hitting to a saved collection in Facebook or whatever, so that before you submit a report, before you consider it all done with your Save the Frogs event, you've downloaded, you've collected everything that you've seen about that event into a folder. You don't have to deliver it all to me, but you have it. And you can also copy out or take screenshots. People put up, like, they post a day later or same day or a few days later, they're inspired and they write up something that makes your event sound awesome. That stuff is worth copy paste into a document and keeping that. Or take a screenshot of it. And if it's really good, deliver it to me. Just like if I see a bunch of you, or if I see any of you or anyone out there posting something about Save the Frogs Day and it's a really cool post, like that makes someone know that you did something good. It makes, Save the Frogs look good. I'm going to copy and paste it. And I keep a database of testimonials, or I would just put it into your folder. I have a folder for your events where all your photos and stuff are going to go for the permanent record. Just like a few months ago, I rebuilt the 2009 Save the Frogs Day page. I went to the 2009 Save the Frogs Day folder on my computer, and I opened up every folder of every event and went through it and found everything that was website worthy and put it up on that page, savethefrogs.com/day 2009. So anyway, what goes in your report that you send to me? A good summary, any other text that you think I should have, which could be some of those testimonials, any images you think I should have, which are the good ones that you would want up on the website on your page, meaning it's not the bad ones. Okay? If you don't know how to use any kind of image editing software, then you can probably just ask. Like, I'll say 50% of people know how to edit an image. What they would edit, it's a different story, maybe. I probably have in the technology chapter or section of Save the Frogs Academy, there may be a graphic design section up there with like how to properly crop and edit a photo. That means like if it's just the ceiling or something, like you take a picture of kids in the room at the school and all the kids are down here, I don't need the image to be up that high showing the ceiling. Okay, crop it. All right, crop it. Why do you crop it? Because the picture will look better. People will focus on the actual thing of interest, importance in the image, and it's less megabytes, kilobytes, server usage. Okay, so you ideally would prepare your best photos. That can include things like improving the lighting. Those are easy with a lot. There's tons of free tools to do that. And so that I don't get like a dark photo, because a really awesome picture of like people in it, but it's too dark. I don't want to put that up there because it's going to be up there forever. I do want to improve it though, so I'm going to take the time probably to change the lighting. But why waste my time? You need the photo to look good too. It's kind of your responsibility. So ideally, you would have somebody, if not you, go through your photos, pick the best photos, crop them if needed, improve the lighting if needed, and boom, that's done. Then I can handle the rest, get it up to the website. What am I going to do with it? First off, you got tons of photos, put them in a folder. Usually for submitting them to me, it'll probably be, you'll put it into a folder of a shareable service like Google Drive or Dropbox and just give me the link. And then I click the link, I download everything from it, and boom, you can then delete that folder. I will also say, I guess two things. One, the future. First, I do like to, it'll get done with a much higher probability if we actually meet, which could be in a group session like this, which we should do a lot more often. Or just one-on-one meeting. Kerry, I've submitted all my materials. Let's make a web page. Okay? If you don't do that, then it's your event and the 100 other unbuilt web pages that are on my mind. But if you set up a time, then we just do it. Yeah, let's get together. Here's your stuff. Let's create the web page. Boom. Then you've got a URL you can share with all your people, again, reminding them that you and your organization held an event and that you can use forever when, where, whatever you want to promote your own environmental history and experience, or on future Save the Frogs grant proposals. I have there's a Save the Frogs grants committee, and again, this will be improved. This comes to the future thing I'm going to tell you about. But sometimes the grantors ask me like, Kerry, you know how they did with their past grant. Well, what if they wouldn't have to say that, or like, hey, I think I've heard of this person before, but I don't have access. Maybe they don't have access to your grant report or whatever. It's not online, or they don't know where to find it. What if you just put the URL right in your grant application? Then every grant judge, every grant committee member looking at it is going to see the URL. And if they see a URL, they're going to click it. And hey, boom, there's this awesome web page all about your event, and they can tell, oh, that looked like a great event. Of course, they're going to want to fund you again. So lots of reasons to ensure that if indeed you held a good event and submitted a good report, and there's good text and there's good photos, that it gets turned into a web page. Not only on your own site like Margot did, but also on the Save the Frog site, and which is primarily what I'm referring to, the Save the Frog site. Um, so anyway, let's see. What if your text isn't that good? What if you don't speak very good English? Hey, that's used to be a problem or call it a significant difficulty, but these days there's AI. Most of you use it. Hey, Frederick uses it, I know. So maybe eventually we'll get him up here and he can let us know what he uses. But his stuff all comes in perfect English. It all looks really good. I can tell a lot of it's written by AI, but it's good. So I don't have any problem with that. Like you can write up your stuff about what happened. I'm not saying you need to use AI. I'm not even saying you should use it, but it's a tool that can take your rough thoughts and with a simple prompt, like turn this into a really professional environmental event report for the Save the Frogs website, savethefrogs.com, so we can look at it and know what's going on there. Help me write up my report or, whatever. That's easy stuff that you can do that probably increases the quality of your writing. Even if you don't do it, I'm probably going to do it. Okay, because I used to have a volunteer. I used to do some myself, turn the report, which was not always well written, into something that could be on the website that is well written. And I would do it, or I had a volunteer who would do it. Now it's not that necessary. As long as you give me the basics, I can use some AI to quickly clean it up. Yes, I could do it myself, but I can't do it I can't do everything in one lifetime. None of us will be able to properly. Let's get as much done as possible and use the tools that exist to assist us with that. All right. Hopefully I answered your question, Margot. So what about videos? I'll just put that last thing in there. Videos are too much for me. Okay, they're too big, they're too heavy, they're too many megabytes or gigabytes. It's too much time for me to watch them. So if you just send me like, here's a folder of all 15 videos that I took, they're not 15 awesome videos. They're just raw footage. That's the B-roll, I believe, is what the official film terminology is. That's just like stuff. Okay, you need to turn it into something good. You don't need to, but ideally you would, because I don't have the time to. I could find video volunteers, but even to watch what's in your 15 videos takes a lot of time. Why don't you just work with someone on your team? All of you who are not from the USA, and even the one of you who is, are all parts of organizations. There's someone in your organization who likes to deal with video, edit video, produce video, take video. Ideally, at your next Save the Frogs Day event, you'd have an actual dedicated filmmaker there whose job is not just to take the video, but to make the video, to produce the video, to take those 15 raw footage videos and turn them into something that can be 1 minute, 4 minutes, who knows, but it's good and it's worth watching start to finish, and it's well thought out, and we put that up on the Save the Frogs YouTube channel, or you put it up on your channel and we share it and we embed it into your website, your event web page. All right. Let's quickly the future.
Kerry,
Yes,
Kerry.
yes. Did I answer too much? Was it too much info?
Yeah, I lost the point. Simple yes or no.
What
We've
is the
sent in
question?
a we're sending in a PDF. We have a website. We have photos that we can send. Do you also want it on that form that was on your website? I think you said something about redoing the website, but I'm very confused
Oh, I
about.
want everything submitted. What are you saying? Like, whatever you create, I want an event report. Where does that go? What I suggest, and I need to clean up because it confuses people. The easiest thing to remember is savethefrogs.com/reports. And that's a
Right.
page all about reports. But there's a
Yes.
link in there if you want to submit a Save the Frogs Day report. Click this link because I have different forms.
Right.
Because a report
Right.
for something like a travel grant is a lot
We've
different
got that.
questions.
So
Okay, so
you
you
want
go.
that in addition to the PDF?
What I want, I mean, I think it should. Hey, how about can we just open it up and we'll look at it?
Yes, please do.
Okay, let's do that.
Thank
Then
you.
let me
Oh
get
my
there because
God.
I haven't looked at it
Thank
recently
you. Finally.
myself. Let's just get straight to it. Then we can see what's good and what's not good. There's always improvements to be made. All right, so first off, where do you find this info? Well, it was in the award approval email, which some of you didn't even see until a few
Share
weeks
your
after.
screen, Carrie. Share your
Until a
screen.
few weeks after. In your award approval email, you can find the URL to submit your Save the Frogs Day report. And what it says is go to this page and just look around, take a look at some other people's reports, read this tips on. Can you see this, Margot?
Yep.
Okay, tips on writing an excellent final report. We're at savethefrogs.com/reports. There's a video all about final reports, summary of it. Past awardees, you can see some of their reports by clicking through here. And a few of them have notes about what I liked about them. And frequently asked questions. Where do I report my Save the Frogs Day event? I had to put that there because it's in a different location. So really, I'm probably going to move everything to a different location so that everyone has to choose which report are you submitting. Because right here, there's a report, and some people just go to it without reading this right here. Note that Save the Frogs Day event organizers should report their Save the Frogs Day events on the link Save the Frogs Day event reporting page. Okay, it's not very good colors there, not through the form here. So anyway, let's just go ahead and click through. Now we're at savethefrogs.com/day dash report. Now, this link is also given in the award approval email you received saying report here. So I would go ahead and read whatever happens to be there. Here it says prepare to report your event. Number of attendees, number of volunteers, a well written summary, what took place, who organized it, where it happened, when it happened, any links to web pages about your event. Press materials. Those are other things you should collect if you got press coverage. URLs of articles, pictures of print newspaper articles, downloaded PDFs of things like that from other sources. All right, anyway, you've collected all your stuff about your event. You have a well written summary, digital materials, photos, flyers, because what you submitted during your event, your application, was probably a draft. If you have PDFs or whatever, JPEGs of your final flyers, the booklets you created, the 8.5 by 11 A4 educational packets that you printed out and posted or handed to the students, all that stuff would be good. News coverage, as I just said, documents you created, such as an event report PDF. So you've got your own PDF that you could deliver to anyone, anywhere in the world. This is what we did, or put it on your site. Okay, so all that stuff is ready. You're now able to a tally of how much money, if any, your group raised for Save the Frogs if you were doing any kind of fundraising. With those things, you're able to submit a report because you can deliver the text. That's the summary. You can deliver all the digital materials in a folder, shareable folder, not just as individual 100 different uploads, or email to Kerry saying, Kerry, here's my 50 photos. Now just give me a folder that they're in. Give me the link to a folder. I'll download it all. And then I have not only your PDF, which is you created it. I can't change that. I'm not going to change it. And then I could also create an article into which your PDF will likely be embedded. All right, if you created videos, there it says the best being a well-produced video summary of your event. Ideally, you would simply send us the YouTube or Vimeo or wherever it is link, and rather than the files, which are often huge. Okay, there's some info on creating a free Dropbox account, probably, or use Google Drive, which most of you probably do. And looks like something about a PDF, include a PDF file.
Okay, so the answer is yes.
Should you submit your PDF report and an actual Save the Frogs Day report? If that's the question, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I have
Thank
a quick
I'll say,
question about, oh, sorry.
yeah, give me 1 second. I'll say, you don't have to submit it. I don't think I've required anyone to submit it as a PDF. I can't remember if that's required or not. I think it's just a good idea to do it because you don't know what I'm going to create out of the web page. Your PDF is your product, so why not just make it? And with all the material you're already delivering me, it's not that hard. So yes, Peyton.
Just a quick follow-up question about the photo sharing. I know you said Dropbox or Google Drive. We
Yeah.
have a SmugMug
Yeah.
folder
Well, the
with
problem
all the
with
different things.
SmugMug is it a folder or it's a sharing website? Is there an easy button where I can simply hit download everything? Will I
Yes.
be, if there is, that's fine, as long as
Okay.
you probably put a little, I've used SmugMug, but those things change and it's been a while.
Okay.
Probably put just a single sentence. We've included a SmugMug link. Click the download button at the top to easily download everything.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm curious, SmugMug, do you let other people upload to it? Is it like a publicly uploadable thing where all your participants upload to it, or just you put it up to there? You put the photos there.
Margot, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that we've had participants upload photos, right?
No, we make a Google share, and they put all their photos in there, and then we put it
Okay.
in SmugMug. But
Yeah.
I think we could share it.
Well, I think I get confused by some of those services, but I'm pretty sure SmugMug is what, say, the frogs used during the, say, 2017 era of eco tours to allow eco tourists to upload their photos, and there were just some kind of sharing permission settings you could turn on, and that was a kind of cool way to let people send their photos. But yeah, any way you can receive photos from people's fine. I was just curious. All right, report your Save the Frogs Day event here. There's the form right there, and it says note Amphibian Conservation Awards travel grants get reported in a different place. All right, first name, last name, email, your country or where did the event take place, your organization name, number of events. All right, what's that mean? Well, maybe you went to 5 different schools and you held 5 different events, and the number's 5. Number of attendees, number of volunteers. Please summarize what took place at your event. All right, so there's your text. This is what happened. All right, so what should be in there? Write it in English. Um, I mean, that's not even that necessary, but it's probably a good idea, I'll say. Ready to add to the Save the Frogs website and social media. All right, inspirational. Include any important outcomes from your events, plans for the future that were inspired by your event. And if you don't want it made public, then you can state that there. All right, how much money did you raise if you were raising funds for Save the Frogs? How can we improve Save the Frogs Day? Names of key volunteers. I put this here recently. This is because, hey, maybe one of those volunteers is going to apply for a grant in the future. And maybe in their past experience, they're going to say, yeah, I volunteered for 2026 Save the Frogs Day at this organization. Then maybe we could actually find that, corroborate that, or anyway, just it's an easy way to say these are the important people involved. All right, was it funded through a Save the Frogs Day grant? That's yes. URL of your Google Drive or Dropbox folder. Really, that should just say URL where of your files. It doesn't matter what service it is. As long as ideally I don't have to create an account. Ideally, I could just use that link. But anyway, I'll say if you do share it with Google Drive and it does force you to use an email address to share it to, I would probably use Kerry at savethefrogs.com because if you send it to me through another email address, I won't be able to access it. All right, photos, flyers. So you can upload stuff there. I guess I've given you the opportunity to use it, but ideally, if it's a ton of files, you would just have a folder and give the URL. That's easier. All right, anything else you'd like to tell us? That's it right there. And Margot, anything else to be discussed regarding reports?
No, I have an objection to the big event in Washington on Save the Frogs Day because how are we going to be both places at once?
Objection. Objection dismissed. There is no big Save the Frogs Day event in Washington, D.C. Are you saying that, oh, you thought there was, are you referring to Frog March, which was scheduled to take
Well,
place
I
three
thought I
days
saw it
before?
in your most recent newsletter, but maybe I got
That there
confounded. I often do. get confused.
Now, we don't have any DC event planned, though I have considered that. Hey, what if we did the Frog March in DC on Save the Frogs Day? But that's not part of the plan currently. There is a Million
Good.
Frog March planned for September 25th.
That'd
Don't
be
get
cool.
your plane ticket yet, but there's still a few things to finalize. Anyway, the new date for that is September 25th. Yeah, September 25th, roughly. Anyway, moving onwards. Thank you, Margot.
Thank you.
And let's see. Hey, anyone else out there? Would you like? I think the original goal here. Well, I did succeed in kind of explaining reports, which I did think was important. Let's get Frederick up here. Frederick may have been the very first person to let's see. Frederick may have been the very first person to submit his Save the Frogs Day event registration for 2026. He did that shortly after the 2025 event. So I encourage all of you, something I haven't brought up yet. We're going to have the grant round earlier this time so that we don't have last minute problems, which most of you probably realize, hey, it's getting kind of late and I'm still waiting on the money or the decision or who knows what. We're going to get all of those applications happening way earlier this time, and I'd like all of you to start planning way earlier. When's the best time to plan? It's actually now, because all that stuff is fresh in your head and you know what you want to do and you know the things that you need to remember to do better next time. So anyway, Frederick, how's it going?
Yes, hi everyone. So, as you know, I'm Frederick Kyoko. I represent the Nature Hub Collective Community Organization in Kenya. So, I'd say that on April 28th, we hosted Kenya's largest Save the Frogs Day event in the Taita Hills. And it was focusing on the critically endangered Taita Hills Warty frog, that is the Carolina dawida. So we brought together 150 participants, that is 100 adults and 50 students from 3 schools. We were also able to plant 500 indigenous trees at critical breeding sites. And I'd say that the survival rate is being monitored, so that we actually aiming for 95% of the survival rate of the 500 tree seedlings. We were also able to train 30 citizen scientists in standardized monitoring protocols, and we were also able to establish 2 community monitoring groups for ongoing protection of the Carolina dawida. This event scaled our existing conservation program, which was also funded by the Save the Frogs Amphibian Conservation Award. And I'd say that we have now planted 1,500 trees in totals, and trained 45 citizen scientists who are conducting bi-weekly monitoring across the Taita Hills. The 2 committee groups are already conducting bi-weekly surveys. We are tracking tree survival rates monthly, and planning additional restoration for the upcoming planting seasons. We are planning to expand our model to other endangered amphibian sites in Kenya, and continue building ownership of conservation. I'd say that the Taita Hills Warty frog survives in only 4.3 square kilometers. Every tree and every trained monitor matters. So, special gratitude to Kerry and the Save the Frogs team for making our day possible. Yeah. So that's a bit of about what we were able to do during the Save the Frogs Day.
All right, thank you, Frederick, and Nature Hub Collective, and all your volunteers, and for the well-stated summary there. Anyone else want to tell us what you did, who you are, anything you enjoyed, any improvements for Save the Frogs Day? Fahim.
So, Kerry, before he comes in,
Yeah.
I'd say that for the 19th Save the Frogs Day, that is on 2027. So we want to replicate this event in Mbololo Forest Block, That is the second remaining habitat for the Taita Hills Warty frog, and this will engage new communities while connecting the two forest fragments through coordinated conservation. And the 45 scientists, trained scientists we have trained, will become trainers themselves, creating a multiplier effect whereby they'll be training the new community members. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Kerry.
Hi, Fahim. How's it going?
Hello, John. I'm doing fine. I'd like to share my experience with organizing the 80% of crop days. I did it in a village situated in Maghura district, and it is a division. It is in the Khulna division of Bangladesh, and I planned it. The background was 2 or 3 months before the crop day grants. And, when I went to I was going through the village and I saw that there is a canal and ponds, and all of them are filled with one-time cliffs and branches. And as these water bodies are great habitats for frogs, I was concerned. And I wanted to take the initiative about raising awareness about these frogs and their importance. And that's why where the idea came for organizing that event in the school in a village where uh, the frogs are important, and there is a lot of lots of paddy fields, and I think I thought that it would be a ideal place to organize the event, and uh, according to my plan, I announced about our event on 27th April. I went to the school and I went to every classes, every single classroom, and I announced that there is a festival coming tomorrow. And as expected, I informed all the teachers and I discussed with them about this event, and they were already interested and they knew that something is about coming about frogs. And when I went to announce that to them, they were really excited. And I told them the previous day that there is a really interesting festival about frogs coming tomorrow. You have to come, everyone, and whoever is not present today, you have to spread that news to them. And they were very interested. And um, on the next day, even our time was 8 a.m., but they came before 8 a.m. in my dormitory where we stayed. They were so interested, and it moved me. And we started with a rally, and the rally was as the students were at almost 200 students, and there were almost 70 to 80 local community members who were going through the schools and trying to realize what we are doing, and we tried to communicate with them also. And the rally was around the village, and they were, as I have sent you the videos. If you check them out, there you can see that they were very loud, and we created some frogs slogans that we are chanting, and the whole village knew that there is something going on, and everyone was interested. And while taking the preparation, I got to know that an interesting thing, that is everyone is stunned that something as small as frogs are given this much appreciation and this much attention. And I try to tell them that why we are doing this, and why frogs are important. And after that, the rally, we started to organize the pre and post quiz, and we uh, we designed the quiz questions as a data survey also. They were there were some quiz that was some the questions that are common sense, but there was also some sections which would reflect their thinking and thought processes about frogs. And uh, after we our primary goal was to know that how much they know and how much they have known after the program. And we took a pre-quiz test and we also took a post-quiz test. And that means we took the first quiz even before we have shared them with anything. Our slide presentations were presented after the first quiz. And after that, there were second quiz competition. And this and I try to understand how much they have known from my program and how much their thoughts have improved. And this is why there were two quiz competitions for the same questions and to know how much have they learned from my event.
All right.
And
That,
and the
before you continue, let's do one real quick sound check. Remove your headphones, and I want to see if your sound quality improves. Just remove from your computer. Unplug.
Hello. Am I audible now? Is
Yes,
there a
you're
problem?
audible, and I should have had you do that long ago. I thought I should ask him to remove them because now your sound quality is much, much better.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
It's all right. Let's see. All right. Hey, I liked how you went to the school before the event to promote the event, even within the school, and get people excited, and maybe even some people who weren't planning to attend. I like that. And then I think you said that am I correct in saying you quizzed them twice, once before about their frog knowledge and once
Yes.
after to see what they actually learned?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
We took a pre-quiz test and a post-quiz test, but
Okay.
we judged them on their pre-quiz test, what they already know.
Okay, good. All right.
Uh,
Um, let's see. Anything, let's keep it short because we're running out of time. Any final thing to say?
but I would like to say that our about my future planning, what I want to do, that whenever we went to any shops or any local offices to discuss something or to buy something, uh, as we do not live in the villages, we were foreign to them, and they asked what we are doing here, and we answered them that we are organizing the annual Save the Frogs Day 2026, and they were really interested, and everyone was excited to know that something like this is happening for the first time in their villages. And most of them, what they wanted, most of them wanted that, why don't you do it in our school? Uh, even when we announced it, the whole Upajala was noticed, and knew that something is happening in that school, and
Yeah.
everyone else.
Well, one thing to
Uh,
consider for the future, especially because you have a year, is you'll never be able to go to all the schools yourself, but ideally you
yes,
can inspire some of them and give them the basic materials that they can do something in their school or that they can talk to their science teacher and their science teacher. You know, ideally on our Save the Frogs Day or Save the Frogs site, we should have enough materials that anybody out there who cares about frogs can set something up. Hopefully, we do. Yes, we could organize it better. Yes, we can create some new materials. You may want it to be in Bangla. We don't have that many Bangla materials. I think we have a few, like a Kola Bang um, booklet from 10 years ago or something. But anyway, hopefully, you can get some of those schools to hold their own events going into the
and my
future.
future plan is that in 2027, if I can combine two or three schools so that I can increase the participant rate, and we can do it in one school, and we can invite the other two schools, uh, and hopefully I can pull that off.
Okay, good.
And
Or you find a couple schools that are nearby and you just spend the morning at one and the afternoon at another. Okay, and also you are remember you're with a team, the Department of Jagannath University Department of Economics, I believe. So go get those other people, and know that there's a lot other people at Jagannath University, such as in zoology department, interested in Save the Frogs Day. Hey, I spoke. I don't know if you know that, but I gave a presentation at Jagannath University in 2018. All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, hey everyone out there. Let's see. I think we have 5 minutes remaining as we started 5 minutes late. Let's go for 5 minutes more. If there's anyone out there who wants to say something, if you have any questions, let's see. We've got people from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Kenya, and the USA. I'm not sure if anyone else was on here, but hey, we got various nationalities represented, and we have not heard from the Pakistani representative. Actually, Muzna was on here before. Syed Arif, if you're out there and you want to say anything about what took place, then why don't you do that?
Hi, sir.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Excellent, thank you.
I had just joined, sir.
Okay.
You
Well, we've just been talking about Save the Frogs Day, environmental communications, event reporting, what people did on their Save the Frogs Day event, what they plan to do different or better or at all in 2027. Do you just want to give us a brief summary? We don't have that much time left. Just a very brief summary of what you did, what your organization is, where you went, what took place.
I am Saeed Arif from Pakistan. I heard them. I am from Pir Meher Ali Shah Agriculture University, Pakistan. And I have conducted Save the Frog Day in one of the background and very far-flung province of Pakistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And where I live in Kohat is a very, very, very backward area. So I conducted a Save the Frog Day in three places. One is Al Asad Higher Secondary School, and other is Government Primary School Gulkhana Alizai, and other is Tandadam. One is Ramsar site in Pakistan. So people enthusiastically participated in Save the Frog Day, and they are believe that we support conservation of frogs. Ahead.
All right, thank you. All right, does with our short amount of time left, does anyone have any questions? All right, no questions. Then I guess I'll just finish up the what I alluded to earlier. The future. I am developing some some grant let's say let's just call it grants technologies to make it easier for you all and for the grantors. Sorry, the grant. Well, yes, the grantors, the grants committee, the judges, so that we have an actual grants platform you would log into, and then you would be able to submit your grant report there. You'd be able to update it there if it has not been finalized, we'll say, or judged yet. Or if I request something from you, we wouldn't have to go back and forth through email. You'd just be able to upload it straight into the system. You'd be able to see where in the decision-making process your application is, and see your past grant reports and the history of your grant applications and such. That should make it easier for you all and for everyone involved. Yeah, so that's in the planning. Hopefully would be ready by the next grants round. The next grants round is this June 1st to July 1st, Amphibian Conservation Awards. We haven't updated the website and we haven't finalized what exactly is going to take place, but Whereas in past years, we just said submit anything that is allowable to us and we'll consider it. Yes, we will still do that, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to have a few categories or preferred types of projects that are going to get priority. One of them is going to be wetland creation slash restoration. So that if you have been considering a wetland project, then that would be the ideal thing to submit versus some of the other types of projects that we get. Well, there's any number of them, types of amphibian projects that we could get, but wetland projects will be highly sought after, we'll say. And I'll probably add to that wildlife trafficking if you have an interest in wildlife trafficking. Not just wildlife trafficking, but I'll say wildlife, what would we call it? Exploitation. Over harvesting, we'll say. If people are, especially if they're illegally collecting frogs from the wild or anything to do with the trade, transport, commerce of that, especially if it's not legal. Even possibly if it is legal, you can still educate people about it. But those are going to be some sought after projects. And again, Save the Frogs Day planning, please. Don't stop your Save the Frogs Day planning. Keep thinking about it now while it's fresh in your head. Get some stuff done right now if you can, and that'll make your life a lot easier later. And then let your other people in your organization know, especially if you're in an organization where the members and the leadership changes every year, like a lot of university student groups, then start talking to your juniors or whatever you call them, the future leaders of your organization, to let them know that they should start planning and they should have it on their calendar. I suggest everyone out there, put on your calendar September 1st, find out what the new date for Save the Frogs Day grants is, if I have not yet announced it. And with that, let's go ahead and end right there. Thanks everyone for showing up here, and thank you
One
everybody.
thing more,
Yes.
Gary, one thing. I will attend Congress in Nepal, which started from 2nd June to 5th June, and I will use the logo and distribute the awareness material regarding Save the Frogs among the participants, inshallah.
I did not understand that. You are going to do something in Nepal?
Yes, I will attend a Congress which started in Nepal, Kathmandu, from
Good.
3 to June, and I will distribute the conservation material among the participants. inshallah.
Good. What is the conference?
The conference is in Nepal, Kathmandu, from 3 to 5th June.
Sorry, what is the name of the conference?
Conservation Asia Congress.
Oh, Conservation Asia. Okay, good. Well, we have a lot of Save the Frog supporters in Kathmandu, if that's where it is, probably throughout the country. But if you want to meet up with any other Save the Frogs supporters, then let me know. And yes, I think that's a great idea. Hey, everyone, when you go to a conference, an environmental, a scientific conference, then why not put in a little thing about, if you're talking about amphibians. Hey, everybody out there, I hold Save the Frogs Day events, and I encourage you to April 28th every year. All right, good. Thank you, Syed, and good luck with your conference. And let's just check the chat. And that's it. All right, everyone, thanks for being a part of the Save the Frogs community and for taking action for amphibians, holding a Save the Frogs Day event, reporting a Save the Frogs Day event, planning your next Save the Frogs Day event. And Margot probably wants to come up here to give us a frog-fingered goodbye. So let's say goodbye and thank you to Margot and all of you frog people out there. You want to teach it to them, Margot?
Fully rely on goodness, God, Gaia, whatever you'd like to say. Fully rely, four-fingered front foot of a frog.
Okay.
Teach
All right.
everybody you know. Thank
Teach
you,
everyone.
Syed.
All right,
And
good.
thank you, Kerry, for all your generosity.
Thank
Your
you, Margot,
generosity
for
of overwhelming
sticking
words.
around for all these years. All right. Good.
You're the best. Bye bye.
Bye.